Hello and welcome to the Global Scholar Gateway, your premier guide to study abroad. My name is Dr. Yaro, your host. And today we are going to talk with one of those wonderful international students who was able not only to gain admission to a US university, but he was also able to gain some assistantships, some scholarships to help pay toward his tuition. And he is from Senegal. He has an interesting background. He's from Senegal, he's from France, and he's from Lebanon. And our conversation will at some point focus on the use of artificial intelligence to empower rural communities in Africa and in the United States. Without further ado, let me bring on Mohamed Didi. Hey, Didi, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, Fatin. How are you? Thank
I'm
you.
doing great.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank you for inviting me today, and I'm really happy to join your channel, and hopefully we can get some knowledge out there.
Yeah,
To
it's
that.
wonderful. It's wonderful to have you on the Global Scholar Gateway. Thank you for the time. And for our viewers who are meeting you for the first time, do you mind introducing yourself?
Yes, for sure. So I'm Mohammed, and I am a graduate student here in the U.S. at Fort Hays. I'm studying human resource management. I'm doing my master's in professional studies. This is my second master. I did a BBA in management with a concentration in entrepreneurship at first, which was really useful, but we'll get to that on later. Then I did an MBA in finance, and now I'm doing my MPS in human resource management. And in between, I've done some stuff as well that
Mhm.
hopefully we'll have the chance to discuss.
Yeah, as I said in the introduction, Mohammed, you have an interesting background. You are a citizen of three different countries, Senegal, Lebanon, France. Do you mind sharing with us where you were born and where you went to elementary school, high school, and college before coming to the United States?
Yes, yes, for sure. And I will surprise you even more is that I am actually a citizen of four countries. It's just that
Oh, okay.
I didn't want to put too many countries in there, but I also I am Brazilian as well.
Oh, wow. Okay, I didn't know
But
that.
I felt that this was maybe a little too much, just so I kept it to three. But so how?
So yeah, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so the question is how does that happen,
Yeah.
the thing is, uh so it's an interesting thing that comes from history. So my grandfather and my origins are like from Lebanon, from like both sides. My grandfather decided to immigrate to Africa at a time where everyone believed in going to America or South America. This was the counterintuitive choice at the time, and actually from both sides of my family they decided to go to Africa. So my grandfather immigrated there, and he actually ran a successful business of agriculture, and more especially in like peanuts. So he will buy and like produce peanuts and sell internationally.
Yeah,
So
if I'm not mistaken, Senegal is probably the first producer of peanut in Africa, I
oh,
think.
I will probably I think probably one of the biggest
Hmm.
producer of peanuts. And yes, yes, so this is like how it all started. Both sides, both grandfathers, both grandmothers, they all came to Senegal to work in that industry. And this is how I'm both Lebanese and Senegalese. Now for the French and Brazilian part, um, so at the time my grandfather immigrated, Senegal was still a French colony. So that's how we got the French citizenship. But I never grew up, or I just went to France like to visit. But this is how we got the citizenship, because it was a colony at the time. And this is the explanation of it. For the Brazilian part, my mother, her parents, after coming to Senegal, they then immigrated to Brazil. So
Hmm.
uh, they went to Senegal, then they went to Brazil. My
Uh-huh.
mother was born in Brazil. I
Yeah.
lived my first year of my life too. I lived it in Brazil. So this is how all this is,
Wow.
all this mix. But I consider myself mainly Senegalese first, and then Lebanese because of my origins.
Yeah.
Mm, Probably,
And then the other two.
but
Wow,
for
that is an interesting multicultural
yeah,
background. So, if I got it correct, you were born in Senegal, and due to the fact that Senegal was a French colony, you somehow benefited from the French citizenship as well, and your parents are from Lebanon, and then your mom's parents are from somehow from Brazil.
yeah. So my dad also was born in Senegal. So
Okay.
so my grandparents came from Lebanon. Yeah, but you're correct. And then my mom was born in Brazil.
Okay. So, okay, going back to the question, you were born in Senegal, so that's where you went to elementary school, high school, and college. What are some of the schools that you attended growing up in Senegal?
So I did most of my schooling, most of my life at the same school that we have. You know how sometimes back home we have elementary, secondary, high school, junior high school. It's all in the same institution.
Hmm.
So I did all of my schooling at Lycée Français Jean Mermoz, which is situated in Dakar. It's uh, it's like my second home, I can say, because I spent like maybe 15 years of my life in the same place. You know,
Wow.
and,
Yeah.
great memories, great teacher, everything. Then I had the opportunity to be part of the first cohort of Tunis, which at the time was called BEM. And interesting story was that I was the first cohort, but I was also the first student to inquire uh, to see if they had a program that will be able to that a program that will take me to the US. So I was the first student to inquire about this program. They didn't have a flyer at the time. They told me I will have to wait a little bit because they were printing flyers to advertise for this program. So I was there before even the program was put to place. And when the program was put to place, eventually I was able to enroll with one of my best friend that you interviewed the other day, Amadou. So we were the two first student in that program. We did 2 years in Tunis, and then 2 years for the BBA here in Hayes, in Kansas. And yeah,
Yeah, you mentioned Jean Mermoz in Senegal. I got the opportunity to visit the campus. Yes, it's a comprehensive, I would say, school where they have
really,
everything, elementary, high school, and yeah, that's a common
oh,
practice in that part of the world. Yes, I visited the campus, I think, at least twice or three times.
really, I
Every
didn't
time
know.
yeah, because they have some types of partnership with Dunis as well,
Okay.
the school that you've mentioned. And for those who are also watching us, maybe from Senegal or anywhere in Africa, do you want to share a little bit more about the school that you mentioned, Tunis, because they're doing some amazing work in Senegal and in West Africa, Central Africa
Yes,
as well
yes,
in general. Do you mind shedding some lights on that school so
yes,
that those who might be interested in joining that wonderful school in West Africa or
for
Central
sure.
Africa can also learn more and
Mhm,
yeah,
mhm.
follow your path.
Yes, for sure. So Tunis, as you know, it's like we have campuses. They have campuses, not only in Senegal, but they grew a lot since they started. First, they had only partnerships with France, but then they really did a great job in developing partnerships. And I think also the partner schools with which they partner, they have great synergies together. They kind of feed each other in a way. So they both benefit each other, both Dunis and the partner school. Now I think Dunis has like probably tens of partner school. uh, they have like probably four campuses, not only in Senegal, but I think in Cote d'Ivoire, in Cameroon. I'm not sure about
Uh,
the-
Abidjan as well, Cote d'Ivoire. Yep.
yeah, Cote d'Ivoire, Cameroon, and I don't know the fourth country.
The they have one in the Gambia as well, in
In
Banjul.
the Gambia. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I think it's a great option because for me, for example, after I was done with high school, I consider that I wasn't fully ready to go to the US. I didn't want to go to France because mostly, when you grow up in French-speaking West Africa,
Yeah.
mainly the options are you can go to Canada or you can go to France if you have like money or scholarships. Also, like some people, they go to other African countries, Morocco. But me, I was always, I think, attracted and drawn to the United States.
Hmm.
So I was looking for something, an option to go
Hmm.
there at the time. Uh, as I said, I was like probably I was one of the first person to inquire, and I got lucky that it happened the year after I graduated high school that this program was created. It allowed me to start my first 2 years in Senegal. As I said, I don't consider that I was fully ready to go to the US, and I'm really happy that I did those 2 years, freshman and sophomore year in Senegal. It got me more mature. I was more ready, and my parents also are really happy about this because they were kind of scared also to send me just after graduating high school. And then I came to Hayes, small
Yeah.
town, safe place, uh,
Yep.
great people,
Yeah. We'll,
country.
we'll, we'll get the chance to dive deeper into your experiences in Hayes and at Florida State University. But to talk a little bit more about Dunis that you've mentioned, Dunis, it used to stand for
Yeah,
Dakar University of International Studies.
yeah,
That's when they first started. But now that they are in many different countries in West Africa and Central Africa, they kind of removed that definition,
mhm,
and they call it Dunis Africa.
yeah,
And Dunis Africa basically provides some uh, programs to African students
mhm,
uh, who are interested in studying abroad.
mhm,
So how it works, you go to Tunis in either Senegal, Cote d'Ivoire, Cameroon, or the Gambia.
mhm,
You spend 2 years there, and then after that, you transfer to one of the partners in the US, in Canada, and I know that they also have partners in Europe, in Spain, in Switzerland. They also
friends.
have
Yeah,
partners in India. So you spend 2 years in Africa, and then 2 additional years in one of those partner institutions, and you get your bachelor degree. They have programs in business, they have programs in computer science, they have programs in geology,
mhm,
political science, and so
mhm,
on and so forth, different
yeah,
programs. And for graduate students, you also have the possibility of spending 1 year in one of those countries, African countries that I've mentioned, and an additional year in the United States and get your master's degree. Mohamed, you mentioned that you had the opportunity to go either to France
yeah,
or Morocco, or Canada,
mhm,
but you were kind of more interested in the
mhm,
United States. Why that interest? What was attractive about the United States for you not to go easily to France because you are a citizen of France as well?
yeah, yeah,
Or you could have gone to a French-speaking country, but instead you chose to study in the United States. Why
yeah.
was that?
Yeah, that's a really good question you're asking because I feel like it's also like counterintuitive. So I have two other siblings, and they both went to France. And uh, as you might know, France, the higher education, if it's public, it's free. So it's not only free for French citizens, but it's also free for foreigners. I think you just have to pay a really small fee. So taking the decision to come to the United States to pay money uh, to get higher education, I did take that decision. First of all, because I strongly believe that the US is one of the best place to do business, to start a business, maybe to grow a business. Uh, I am I really like the entrepreneurial culture here in the US. I feel like we do have an entrepreneurial culture in Europe. We do have an entrepreneurial culture in Africa as well. But this was mainly why I decided to come here, was to learn more about the American way of building a business, of developing a venture, becoming an entrepreneur, and I wanted to learn about the ways uh, that they do, the do and the don'ts, everything. And since I started from my BBA, my school career has always been revolving around business, really. Whether it's human resource right now, whether it's finance. I'm trying to really get a sense of how to conduct a business in every aspect of it. And I can say that I'm really passionate now about human resources, because it's a really different way of handling human resources, the way they do it here in the US and how they do it everywhere around the world. It's a discussion we could develop a little
Yeah.
bit more, because I'm pretty sure you know how in Europe or in Africa sometimes it takes time to hire someone, to
Mhm.
put that trust into a candidate. There is laws that protects employees back in Europe, back in Africa, a lot of protection.
Mhm.
Sometimes here in the US, it's a little bit different. You can get hired and get fired the next day. You know,
Yeah, that's
it's
right. They call it at will
at,
employees.
at will employees, which is something that sometimes back home you will hire someone and you won't even be able to get rid of that person, even if that person is not working, because it's
Productive.
over. Sometimes in France it's overprotective,
Yeah.
in Europe the laws and everything, but here it's like employment at will, as you said, you know. And I feel like it's an interesting way of doing things,
Mhm.
and that always attracted me is how they do business, how they succeed,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, you're definitely right. The United States is one of the best countries if you want to start a business. There's a huge market. First of all, the population of the country, more than 300 million, and people consume stuff here. You can start a business and really, really do well if you are able, to sell your product to the public. As I said, you can start anything and thrive really well in the United States. And one of the things that I also discovered about the human resource management system in the United States, as we said, you can hire somebody, and if they're not productive, the next day you get rid of them, and yeah, nothing will happen. They know as an employee, you know that you're joining that company, and you can decide to quit anytime, or they can decide to also get rid of you anytime if you are not productive.
Mhm.
Contrary to the systems in Africa and Europe, specifically in France, where unions are
Mhm.
very, very strong.
Yes.
Employees are very strong. They're very protected, I would say, protected by law. You cannot get rid of an employee that easily. But in the United States, it's definitely not the case. Uh,
Also, just to compliment on this, because I think I talked about what attracted me to the US, but there is an important thing I want to mention, is that my goal, of
mhm,
course, is to go back home to
mhm,
Senegal, and to bring that knowledge that I'm getting right now. I think that You can go to Singapore, you can go to China, you can go to Japan, learn some knowledge how people do things, how they conduct things. And I think I'm in the environment, in the rural environment,
Mhm.
but I think my goal is to eventually go back to Senegal as soon as I feel like I am ready to implement all the things that I learned
Yeah.
and kind of bridge, uh, make. I want to be a bridge maker between the U.S. to Africa. Maybe bring
Mhm.
African investors to America, or American investors to Africa, because I know also in Africa there is a lot of people that uh, we have money, we have resources, and some people want to invest in America. Some people have successful business back home. I was talking to someone the other day that has 5 or 6 restaurants back in Senegal,
Mhm.
and he was thinking about maybe opening a bakery in Miami.
Wow.
He's in the bakery business back home. He has some of the best bakeries in Senegal, and
Mhm.
this is what I like to hear, those stories, and this is why hopefully one day, or even now, I can help them
Mhm.
know better about human resource here in the U.S.,
Yeah.
how to start a business here, how
Mhm.
to hire employees, how to train them, how to retain them, and all these things. That's really my passion right now. My passion.
Wow, that is awesome. Definitely wonderful, and I couldn't agree more. And this would be maybe a message to our viewers that have made it to the United States, who have come from Africa, have studied in the United States, and have become somehow successful in the United States. An important thing for the diaspora, the African diaspora in the United States, is to uh, go back to Africa and invest and share some of the stuff that they've learned
Mhm.
in the United States and see how they can replicate some of the businesses that they have studied, or how things that they've seen in the United States that could be helpful. Because yes, we definitely need those expertise
Mhm.
gained in the United States on the African continent. Because yeah, as you've well mentioned it, we have a lot of people who have come here who have started successful businesses, who are successful in the United States. A good thing for us to do is to give back to the African continent. Never
Yep.
forget to go back and invest. And also, as you mentioned, your friend in Senegal in the bakery industry, we can also help them somehow start some of their businesses in the United States. As
Sure.
we mentioned, it's a very huge market, and if
Yes.
you
Yes.
start something great, people will buy in, and you just become more successful. I want to take a moment to recognize the people who are watching us live. We have Okana Charles, who is watching us from Burkina Faso, and he's appreciative of your journey. You have a very well accomplished journey,
Thank
and
you.
thank
Thank
you
you.
so much for joining us. And I would also say to those who are watching us, if you don't mind typing in the comment section where you're watching us from. And you can also share this live, invite your friends to join us and learn about Mohamed's journey, get inspired by the things that he has accomplished, and how you too can gain admission to some of the wonderful universities in the United States and gain some types of scholarships or assistantships to help you pay your tuition in the United States. And if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, please do so. That's going to help us grow. It's going to help us continue bring some of the amazing individuals to share their journey with you, so that you too can get inspired and become successful in higher education and in your professional journey in the United States, in Canada, or anywhere in the world. So, Mohammed, let's talk about your experience at Forest State University. First of all, you mentioned that you got a BBA. What kind of sparked that interest in studying business?
Yes. So I think this is pretty much something that has been with me my whole life. Since I was a kid, I was always attracted to business. We are in Senegal. We are people that I will say like are really like business people. We like to do business. We're passionate about this. So since I was a kid, I was always thinking about what business can I do, what business can I launch, and this has always been my dream. So I didn't want to be a doctor. I mean, I didn't want to be an architect. I was pretty much sure that this is what I wanted to do: be an entrepreneur, maybe also be a social entrepreneur. Also, this is a different aspect: how to create value, how to create systems. That's kind of my passion, my interest. Is how do you create value? How do you create systems? How do you um, mix people, process technologies to create something out of nothing? And this was something I tried. I launched multiple ventures in my life. I think probably around eight, probably, but out of those eight, probably only one uh, had a little bit of success.
Mhm. And
So
when did you start launching those ventures?
yeah. Oh, wait.
Like at a very, can you hear me? At a very young age, did you start those businesses that you've mentioned at a very young age?
I would say probably the first thing I tried to do when I was really young, it's really something that a lot of people try to do, is just like have some animals, some sheeps or
Hmm.
rabbits.
Yeah.
Everyone tried that. I mean,
Yep.
like back home once in their life, just like you buy a male, you buy a female, and you're like, okay, if they get kids,
Yeah.
it's just something really funny, but
Oh
uh,
yeah, I did that. I used to have those animals that you mentioning, rabbit. I used to have pigeons as well, doves.
yeah, yeah.
A lot of them. I
Yeah.
would sell some of them sometimes and take care of some of my personal stuff. Yes, go ahead.
This is something, I like the fact that you've tried that as well. It just shows that it's something, as I said, not only in Senegal, but probably in the whole continent. We're really business oriented people.
Yes,
We see an opportunity. We don't see two rabbits. We see we see an opportunity there. We're trying
absolutely.
to, and this is what's beautiful. I think that we have a lot of like talent. We have a lot of things. Later, this was the first thing, is maybe with the ships, trying to do that. And then I also, with my friend Amadou, that
Hmm.
you had an interview the other day, I
Yep.
tried probably to do 3 or 4 ventures with him.
Hmm.
So some more successful, and the only successful venture uh, that I manage up to today is also with him.
Hmm.
So we tried first back home in Senegal to do chickens as well. So
Hmm.
still in the same industry,
Yeah.
just like I remember we bought like 50 or 100 chicks that
Wow.
we bought the food, we bought the medicine, because you have to buy medicine.
Hmm.
uh, I'm not gonna say we managed to do a profit, but we managed to not do any loss, maybe just like break even
Hmm.
a tiny bit, just so
Yeah.
we can pay our expenses. And that's where we kind of understood that some industries are more labor
Intensive.
intensive, and they require a lot of work
Hmm.
than other industries. So then we tried doing a donut business, because
Hmm.
again, we were like kind of oriented towards the US. We tried launching a donut business back home in Senegal. The thing I will say is that the thing you learn is that sometimes you can come with a good idea at a bad timing. So I
Yeah.
would say the idea was good. At the time, the timing was not really good to
Hmm.
do it. And now, a few years later, I see successful donut businesses back home. And I think that we had that vision like 10 years ago. That
Hmm.
that's really interesting. We tried importing products, e-commerce.
Hmm.
We tried everything, that someone young goes to the internet, looks how they can do a business. So we tried like doing e-commerce as well. uh, then it's actually this past year that we finally had our first successful venture. So we created kind of a logistic business here,
Hmm.
where I'm not sure if you talked to about that with Amadou.
Yeah, we'll get the chance to dive deeper into that during this conversation.
Yeah.
And as you mentioned, I can clearly see that you grew up with that business mindset, starting
Mhm.
at a very young age with animals. And most young Africans have gone through that stage. As I said, I personally did that. I used to have pigeons, and a lot of them, and I would sell them sometimes to, take care of some of my personal stuff without relying on my parents or brothers and siblings, and yeah, you've mentioned a couple of businesses that you've also tried, and a key point that you made is that sometimes we can have wonderful ideas, but the timing might not be right.
Mhm. Mhm.
Like the donut business that you've mentioned, that is something that you started decades ago. But
Mhm.
back then, people in Senegal were not into donuts. And
Mhm.
today, 10 years later, you go back and see that some other people have come
Yeah.
up with businesses in that same industry
Yeah.
and they're thriving.
Yeah.
But a thing that we should, maybe promote here is that, yeah, you might start not at the right time, but if you realize at some point that this is the time it's working, you can still go back
Mhm.
and
You do it.
restart that same business.
Mhm. Mhm.
The thing is, not to give up. I am of that mindset of not giving up
Mhm.
on things that I truly believe in.
Yeah.
So I would encourage you and your friend Amadou to not give up on
On the
that business idea that you had. And if this is something that is working today in Senegal, you can also go back and
That's
start
true.
that business and thrive. And if you realize that, for example, in Saint Louis, they don't have that kind of business
Mhm.
yet, you can
That's
start
true.
it there. Or the Gore Island, I don't know, it's a touristic place. People come from all over the world and they're certainly interested in tasting some donuts from Senegal. So these are things that you should definitely keep up
See.
with and continue developing them.
Yeah. That's true. I totally agree with you in that matter, that you should not give up. And that's something we always say, is that one day we'll come back and we'll do everything that we failed, but we'll do it.
Hmm.
We'll do
Yeah,
it. Whether it's the chicken business, whether it's we'll come back and we'll do it. We'll be stronger, God willing, and we'll do it better. And we
yeah.
learn from our lessons. Also, that's something really important, is to learn from your past, what you failed, what you succeeded. That's
Yeah, absolutely. And this is you are, in the right place, the United States, to network,
Mhm.
because in business, a key thing to also have is a solid network of people
Mhm.
who can support or earn or invest. And as I said, the United States is just the right place to be. So build a solid network of individuals that are already in that kind of business and that can be supportive in helping you grow your donut business in Senegal. Now, let's talk about your experiences at Fort Hays State University. You mentioned that you came to that institution through the partnership with Dunis Africa. So, how was your experience? And I know that you were the among the first cohort of Dunis students to
Mhm.
come to the United States. And I should also mention that Fort Hayes is the first partner of Tunis Africa. So when they started that institution, the
Mhm.
only partner that they had overseas was Fort Hayes State University.
True,
So
true.
how was the admission process for you, and what were your experiences as an undergraduate at Fort Hayes State University, as an undergraduate first?
Mhm. As an undergraduate, yeah. So I remember that the admission process was really facilitated uh, by the partnership. So we were like guided all the way. It's not like, when you apply alone to a university, you're on your own. Then you have to figure out everything by yourself. But in this partnership that we had, everything was facilitated. Even we received the I-20s, to the school. We got a visit from people from Fort Hayes. Phil Whitcorn, he came to the university to visit us, to guide us, to help us. The admission process was really facilitated. I will say that the only thing probably that you had to a little bit maybe work on your own was probably the visa appointment at the embassy. And even this was really facilitated also because we used to, with the partnership, we used to go to the embassy every Wednesday, actually. We used to go to the US embassy, to the American Center. So they already knew us at the embassy. We knew some people that worked there. So even when it was about to be the visa appointment and everything, people already knew us there. They knew that we were students that we were gonna go to the US. So it was facilitated. Then when we came again, it was everything, orientation. I remember Phil Whitcorn picking us from the airport in Denver. So that was really nice of the International Student Office. They really did a great job with us. They treated us like, we were the first cohort, so they really wanted everything to be good. And I think even the next generation was um, easier for them because we were the generation that we experienced everything first,
Mhm.
everything from the visa appointment. Then it just became like easier for the next generations. So when we came, like 10 students, like we were like 10 students from Tunis probably
Mm.
at the time. Everything from meeting with advisors, registering to classes, we were really like like I want to say like guided for every step. I
Yeah.
don't remember doing anything almost alone. Like they were like, this is how you register for class, this is how you do this is how you do that. So I will definitely recommend people that want to come and study to maybe
Mhm.
look at in a way to come with a partnership, because it makes it easier all
Yeah.
the way from as I said, we used to go to the US embassy every Wednesday
Mhm.
to the American Center, so they already knew our faces there.
Yeah.
This is the stuff uh, that you want when you go to a school, when you go to a partnership, is this is what you are enrolled for.
Mhm.
It's for all the help that you can get, all the support system, the people,
Yep.
so yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of my experience for my undergraduate. I
Yeah.
think.
I
Mhm.
I mean, I just wanted to kind of reinforce a little bit on some of the stuff that you've mentioned about Tunis Africa and Forte State University. Tunis has definitely succeeded in building some types of relationships with the US Embassy in Senegal, making it a little bit easier for Tunis students to get a visa and travel to the United States. Because one thing that we should mention is also that it can be difficult sometimes to get a US visa as a student to travel
Yeah,
to the United States. And unfortunately, the denial rate is higher in Africa than anywhere else in the
yeah,
world. So African students are unfortunately denied most often a US visa to travel to the United States. But as I said, what Dunis has succeeded in doing is to build that partnership, that relationship with the U.S. Embassy in Senegal, in Cote d'Ivoire, in Douala, and the Gambia, making it a little bit easier for the students to get a visa to travel to the United States. So for our viewers who are interested in studying abroad, in studying in the United States, if you are in West Africa, Central Africa, anywhere in Africa, I would say Dunis could be a very good option for you
Yeah.
if you want to facilitate the steps in getting a visa and traveling to the United States. And one thing that you've also mentioned about Fort Hays State University, Phil, picking you up from Denver. I don't know, back then, didn't they have an airport in Hayes, or
They
why
they did.
did you land in Denver?
Well, this is the thing. So they did have an airport in Hayes. I don't know exactly how it happened that our director at the time just like advised us to take tickets from Senegal to Denver. So I think that's what kind of happened, and
Yeah.
then we all got our tickets from
Oh, okay.
to Denver, and then we were kind of going to be in that situation.
Yeah.
But the school quickly, the international student office, Phil came with a bus. We slept in Denver. I think also it was kind of also an experience to first come to the US before we come to Hayes directly. Maybe that we stay a night in Denver.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit like
Explore the city.
explore the city, exactly, because we just like landed in New York and took our flight for like Denver. So we
Yeah.
didn't really, me personally, it was my first time in the US.
Yeah.
So I strongly remember that first night in Denver. It
Yeah.
was raining. We were like running in the with Amadou and Musa. I remember that clearly, and yeah, it's a good memory. I feel.
Yeah. So yeah, one thing that Fort Hays does really well, and I've spoken with a lot of students from that institution. They've all mentioned how they felt welcome at the institution.
Yeah, yeah,
The
yeah,
first day you land in Hayes or in the United States, they would pick you up from the airport
yeah.
and drop you at your apartment. If you choose to live on campus, they'll drop you at your apartment on campus. If you choose to also stay off campus, they will drop you at your apartment off campus.
Yeah.
And they will also take you to the grocery store, Walmart, the same day that you arrive or the next day, for you to do some shopping, because as a new,
Would
I'd
you have
say,
not? Yeah.
yeah, you don't have anything new American or newly arrived in the country. You need some stuff.
Especially,
So they will take you to Walmart or any grocery store for you to get some of the basic necessities that you need. And they definitely have an international office that is also very, very supportive. As you mentioned, they will help you register for classes, orient you on immigration, how to maintain your status. They'll take like almost a full semester to guide you through immigration in the United States. They have courses, for almost a semester, as I said,
yeah.
4-week classes, or is it 8-week, or something of the sort, to orient you on immigration, health, insurance, and so on and so forth. So it's definitely a very welcoming institution for international students.
And yeah, and definitely after all this admission, I was doing my bachelor's, my last 2 years of my bachelor's, because it was a 2+2 program. I took my major was management, my concentration was entrepreneurship. I finished a semester earlier. I took a lot of classes. By the end of the bachelor, I remember my bachelor, it was at the end, it was COVID. So also the university closed for the first time in its history. So that was also interesting times to be part of. Then I went back home, where that's where like I started also like I took a gap semester after graduating from my bachelor. I tried to do we launched a business with Amadou. I'm not gonna talk too much about that because I think he talks about it in his interview with you. So if people are interested in knowing more about We Trust and what we did with Amadou, on that they can go and check your other video as well. Um, so yeah, then I came back 2021 to do my MBA, this time in finance. Uh, and I will say that I really enjoyed coming back more, maybe even than the undergraduate,
Yeah.
which is kind of funny because some people they enjoy the undergraduate more than they enjoy their graduate studies.
Hmm.
But for me, it was the opposite. I I felt like when I came back for my masters, first of all, the Senegalese community here grew bigger. So
Yes.
at the time we were like five guys, maybe 8 girls from Senegal.
Hmm.
But when I came back, we were 13 uh, boys, and there was like 20, 30 girls
Yeah.
already. So I really enjoyed the fact that we have a community here,
Yeah.
that we are like brothers. We play soccer every Wednesday, every Saturday. Something that I didn't have for my bachelor's
Hmm.
is that brotherhood, that community aspect. That you can count. You can eat also like Senegalese food every week because
Yeah.
someone is gonna do a cookout or something.
Yeah.
Even the boys, they learn how to cook like from their moms. It's really amazing to see how some of my friends, they never cooked a meal in their life, and all of a sudden they became great cooks. And they
Yeah.
yeah. So I really enjoy my graduate studies. We had the amazing brotherhood, amazing
Hmm.
thing, and I think I'm not the only one
Yeah.
that did, because we have people as of same situation as me. They did their MBA and now they're coming back to do another master's.
Yeah.
Or I know people that did their bachelor's at the time, they're coming back to do their MBA. It's like we're saying it's like a trap. It traps you because it's so nice to have this community and to be in that environment that is so safe. You're not
Yeah.
in, you can walk in the street here at 4 a.m. and nothing is gonna happen to you. I'm here in Hayes. It's really calm, really safe. I went to other cities as well. I wouldn't say the same of some other cities here,
Hmm.
but here I'm not scared to walk at 4 a.m. in the morning
Yeah.
and do
Yeah,
whatever.
it's definitely a very safe community. I usually also share with parents, because when I travel to Africa for recruitment purposes, one of the main concerns from parents is safety,
Mhm.
because we all see a lot of crazy stuff happening on social media in the United States, gun violence, issues like that. I usually tell them that we also see those issues on social media, just like you do in Senegal.
Mhm.
Uh, in Hayes, we don't get to experience any of those
Mhm.
crazy stuff.
Crazy stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I usually I can go to work without locking my doors and come
Same.
back home and find everything
Nothing.
in place.
Same.
And you also talked about the Senegalese community here in Hayes and at Fort Hays State University. And that's maybe going to be an announcement. Senegal is now the first international population at Fort Hays State University. It used to be China
Yeah.
until last semester when many of them graduated and went back. Now Senegalese students are the first international student population here in Hayes and at Fort Hays State University. So if you're watching us from Senegal and you choose to study at Fort Hays State University, you will definitely find a community here, as
Mhm.
Mohamed has mentioned. You will get the chance to eat your jollof rice, your mafe, and so on and so forth, your chepujen.
Yes.
You will still feel at home, definitely.
Yeah. 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 Definitely. No, this is something I am really proud of, because I feel like as little as maybe my contribution was, I was able to contribute to making that community also like what it is.
Hmm.
And whether it's like organizing soccer games twice a week,
Yeah.
or doing those things. I feel like this is something I'm really happy, and I saw the community growing because I was the first cohort. So we're like, as I said, we're like five. Now we're like 20 almost,
Yeah.
30 guys, and we all know each other. I know everyone that came, that left. I tried to convince many people many times to stay or come back, which sometimes, like I was successful, and I'm still doing that all the time. I'm like, hey, you should come back, do your masters here, and I have some. There's two people that are gonna come back this semester to do their masters.
Hmm.
So this is why I always tell the international student office that I am working hard for them, even if they don't know it. Yeah.
Yeah, that is definitely great. And usually, the way recruitment works, in the international education field is, through friends. You recommending the institution to the people that based on your experience at the institution is definitely an effective way of recruiting and bringing more Senegalese students to the institution. So keep up the great work. And I hope some people from the international office at Fort Hays State University are also watching this video and are aware of the wonderful job that you've done, helping bring some more Senegalese students to the institution. And as you mentioned, the number has been growing since the first cohort. And today, Senegal is the first international country represented here at Fort Hays State University, thanks to the amazing work that you've been doing, helping bring more Senegalese students to the institution and promoting the institution to students in Senegal.
Mhm.
Let's talk about your yes, you mentioned your graduate experience, and I know that you came back to the institution with some type of scholarship,
Mhm.
assistantship, because some of the people who are watching us are also interested in securing scholarships, some types of financial aid, financial support to help pay their tuition in the United States and at Fort Hays State University. How did you go about that? How were you able to secure some of those scholarships that you've gained? And what are some of the tips, advice that you would share with the individuals that are trying to come to Fort Hays State University and are also interested in gaining scholarships and assistantships?
Mhm. Yeah, so that's a really good question because I think a lot of people are interested in getting scholarships or assistantships. So the assistantship that I have is called the graduate assistant. It's one of the best ways, I will say, um, one of the best scholarships for international people. It covers three classes, 9 credit hours. Some of them cover 9 credit hours, some of them less, but generally it's 9 credit hours, which means you can take 3 classes per semester, and it's paid by the school. So you just need to pay the health insurance. That's pretty much what you have to pay. And then also, if you live off campus, you will need to get your rent. But these graduate assistantships always all comes also with like a salary, a stipend. So you get $1,000 per month, which normally should allow you to rent a place, to pay for your rent, for your food, and pay for health insurance. So it's basically that. Uh, the way I did it was I first came for my master's, and then I looked at graduate assistantships that were available, and I was able to get one the following semesters. The following semester. So my first semester I didn't have it. Came, I applied, I looked, and then I got it for the next semester. Now
Mhm.
I know people that got it before even they came,
Yeah.
and I really respect. As I said, we talked about how we have a large African community, even like more than just Senegalese.
Mhm.
We have Nigerian students, Ghanaian students, and I have to say that I've met with pretty smart students. I remember one student from Ghana that When I was talking to him, he told me that when he came, uh, he didn't have money for like paying the tuition or anything. So he first applied for the graduate assistantship, and when he got it, he needed to pay for his flight and for his health insurance. But he was able to do that, and he was even like, I would say, like even like smarter than this, because he when he first came, he got his social security number, he applied for a credit card, and then with that credit card he was able to pay for his health insurance that he later paid with his salary. So he was really able to come uh, here like without spending any money really at first, and he was able with like those smart decision to take a credit card, pay for his health insurance, then pay for it later with his salary. And this is some of the things that you want to share with people, because a lot of people, they think that it is uh, hard to come here to
Mhm.
get things. But my advice will be that it is hard. No one said it's gonna be easy, but but if you put on the hard work, I think that this is really a country, a place that rewards it. And when you put in the hard work, you usually get something out of it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And
Very, very, very well put. Very well put.
yeah.
Definitely, it's not like a walk in the park, gaining admission or getting scholarships or assistantships to pay towards your tuition. And one key advice that I usually share with international students that are interested in gaining those types of financial support, because yes, a lot of universities provide those type of financial support for international students. There are tons and tons of scholarships and assistantships. Hopefully, they continue to be there. But universities are typically interested in students who put in the work
Mhm.
to get those types of financial support. They want to see your leadership potential. They want to see in you that you care about your community, that you are involved
Mhm.
beyond the classroom settings. Universities are not that much, interested in giving scholarships, assistantships to the type of students that I call triangular students, the type of students who go from their dorms to the classroom, and from the classroom to the library and back
Yeah.
to their dorm. The
Yeah.
triangular is closed. If you're that type of student, it will be difficult for you to get scholarships or assistantships in the United States. They need students that are involved. There are hundreds of student clubs. You need to be a part of those student clubs. You need to take some leadership roles. When you come to Fort Hays State University, for
Mhm.
example, or anywhere in the United States, you will find the basic, I would say, organization for any international student is the International Student Association.
Mhm.
Are
Mhm.
you involved, for example, with that organization? Do you have some leadership roles? And
Mhm.
there are, as I said, hundreds of different types of clubs.
Mhm.
Based on your major, you will
Based
find
on
a
your major.
business club, an engineering club, and so on and so forth. Be a part of those organizations. That is how you can secure scholarships and assistantship. And at first, it might be difficult. And as you mentioned, Didi, some students have been able to get those type of financial supports before even traveling to the US, before even coming to Fort Hays State University. But
Yeah,
sometimes um, universities would want to see you first and
exactly.
see how involved you are in the community before gaining those type of
Mhm.
financial supports.
Exactly. So sometimes it is something that you have to take the first step. You have to come. You have to talk to people. You have to meet people. I know many people got it like the same way I did. Is they came, they did a semester, they went, they knocked on some doors,
Mhm.
they asked to some people, and as you know, as we said, it's like if you go and put in the work and spread the word, that hey, I'm interested in that, I can do this, I can do that, and you bringing something to the table,
Yeah.
and this is pretty much. Also, what I'm focused on right now is more than just at the school level, but it's at the level of maybe, as maybe we can like elaborate on it. It's like at the state of the state, the level of the state, Kansas. I'm trying to get more involved in like rural communities, uh, for what I'm doing right now, for my work, for my research. So this is something also that's rewarding, because you have to think bigger than just your major. You have to
Yeah,
think bigger than just your degree. You have to think bigger than your school,
yeah,
and you have to think bigger than your city. So
absolutely.
I'm really lucky today to be able to discover all these small towns
Hmm.
around, do my research on
Yeah.
human resource, how technology can impact rural communities here
Hmm.
uh, in America, and also back home in Africa, because everything is connected in a way, So yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I want to recognize again Okana, who put in the comments, really appreciating the work that you're doing and giving back to Senegal. So thank you once again for staying tuned with us. And for our viewers also, again, you can type in the comment and we will recognize you. Feel free to share this live. Um, and if, again, you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel yet, please do so. And also invite your friends to subscribe. That is going to help us grow. It's going to help us continue bringing some of the amazing individuals, just like Didi, to share their experiences with you so that you too can get the opportunity to study overseas and get some scholarships and or assistantships. Now, Didi, let's
Yeah.
dive into your work with AI. You just started talking about some of your involvement in rural communities in Kansas, in the United States, and some of the work that you've also done in Senegal. You, in your bio, you have worked with some crypto investors.
Yeah.
How did you do that, and what is that all about?
Yeah. Well, so as I said, this is something I did with Amadou, and I think he elaborated more on this. But what we did basically is that we know that there is, in some businesses back home, there is beautiful margins to be made, and we also saw the opportunity that in the US we have people that are just sitting on their crypto, and they're just speculating with it. They're just waiting for it to go up in price. And what we did basically was to use the blockchain, use the, the what they call the Lightning uh, blockchain, to allow investors with crypto to invest in some farms, to invest in some projects, especially campaigns. What we call campaigns is, let's say you have this farmer back home. He wants to do a campaign for this particular crop, this particular season, and they had the opportunity to invest in that campaign and get some profit out of it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, maybe we should start with some basic definitions for our viewers who are not familiar with what cryptocurrency is. And you've also mentioned blockchain. Do you mind providing some uh, definitions of those concepts? What is crypto? What is blockchain? For some of the viewers who are not familiar with those terms that we're using.
yeah. So of course, so blockchain is kind of the foundation of crypto as we know it. People, they always see the crypto itself, Bitcoin, Ethereum, but they don't know what's going on behind it. So what happened is that you have a really safe way of transact how do you say, uh, making transactions. It's a way that is not everything is transparent, everything is written on a blockchain, every transaction, nothing can be lost. It's not like in the system today. It's what we can call a distributed ledger technology, DLT. It's kind of the scientific name. I'm trying to put it into some wording. It enables a secure and transparent, resistant recording of each and every transaction on the network, everything that happens. Each record is what's called a block. That's why the name blockchain. And it contains, how do you call, a sequence that has to be validated through all the system. So to make it easier, let's say you are making a transaction, Fatin, to me. This transaction on the blockchain has to be validated by all the members of the blockchain. So they have to see, okay, he wants to make a transaction. So this is why I'm saying that there is nothing that you can hide, transparent.
Yeah.
Even someone that's what we call a whale in
Yeah.
the Bitcoin world is someone that has a lot of crypto. When he does a transfer, you know what's happening.
Yeah. So you're basically telling us that for those of us who are kind of a little bit skeptical about cryptocurrency, blockchains, you're telling us that it is safe, it is secure, and it's there's nothing wrong investing in those things.
Yes, and not only that, but it basically what it does, it's eliminating any centralized intermediaries. So this is where it becomes really interesting for the diaspora, or this project that we had, is that sometimes you might have constraint. You want to invest in US dollars back home, and you might encounter constraints. But with crypto, the thing is, anyone or anywhere in the world, you don't need that centralized authority. You don't need to change your dollars for CFA or nairas. You can just invest directly with the Bitcoin. And this is what the idea was about, is to facilitating investment back home, get rid of that centralized intermediaries, and just focus on the core of the project. Just get the funding directly to the farmer. And this is how then, back home, when you receive Bitcoin, you can then retrieve it in CFA.
Yeah.
So this is the beauty of the thing, if you want, is you don't need to go through all this investment thing. And it's an easy way for a diaspora or anyone to invest back home. So that's
yeah. Let's talk a little bit about the agri business people in Africa, because there are many of them. We have a lot of small agri businessmen, business people. Let's say we have somebody who is interested in investing or doing something with cryptocurrency, crypto Bitcoin from Senegal, from Burkina Faso, or from anywhere in Africa. Where do they start? How do they go about it?
Okay, how do they go? You're asking how do they go
about it? How do they start?
How they manage to do that? Yeah, so the first thing is, we have a component is they will look at what campaign is available, what farmer is looking for funding. First, a project that interests them, because also not every project is equal. Not every project is, you will, for example, you know about pigeons, I know about chickens, and first step will be to choose a project that you want to invest in. Then the second step will be that we put you, it goes through us, we put you in relation with that farmer, that what we call in French, porteur de projet. It means that project bringer in some sort. And then eventually you get to meet that farmer, you get to meet that entrepreneur, you get to build that trust relationship. And from then on, if you decide that you will invest, then you will send the crypto. There will be everything going on also on the legal side, because we have to keep in mind that you have to be protected legally. You have to be able to enforce a contract, and whether it's in Bitcoin, whether it's in you're paying in whatever you want to pay,
Mhm.
it's enforceable by the law, by a contract.
Mm.
So people tend to think that if it's not money, if it's crypto, it's not enforceable. Yes, it is enforceable. Even if I want to pay you in strawberries,
Mhm.
it's enforceable.
Mm.
So then we will work on that legal aspect, so you know that if something happens, you're protected. And this is where we're kind of coming in, the
Mhm.
legal aspect. And then eventually, if everything is there and everything meets your requirement, you feel like the margins can be interesting, you feel that this is an interesting project, you feel that you have some crypto that is sleeping in your wallet,
Mhm.
and not working for you, then you can invest it and hopefully be part of that farmer's campaign or project and make some profits out of it. And
Yeah.
when the profits are made, of course, we taking off the fees, whether it's the legal fees or whatever. uh,
Mhm.
we will send like back the profit in crypto to you, wherever you are, if you're in Europe, if you're in uh, the US, if you are in Canada, because that's the beauty of crypto today, that really
Yeah.
there is no borders, there's no
Mhm.
centralized institution. I would say there's less regulations too, but still the protection of everyone, stakeholders, is important for us.
Yeah. Well, as I said, I'm somehow ignorant about crypto, Bitcoin, and all those stuff. Let's say we have some people in the United States who are interested in doing business with farmers in Africa through those new technologies that we're talking about. Can they? How do they do that? Can they reach out to you or?
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. I would say that they can check our page first on LinkedIn, the
Mhm.
We Trust page, to learn more. We're gonna develop, hopefully, the app. We have an app already, but
Mhm.
we have an app, but it has to be able uh, to answer all the requirements. We are developing it as of right now. So as of right now, the best way, if they want to do that, is to contact us, because we're not yet at the level where you can just download the app and do it all by phone without contacting us. So at this point, if you want to inquire about any project back home, if you want to inquire about any campaigns, I will say that the best way is to reach out to us, and hopefully we can, yeah, exactly. So that's our LinkedIn page,
Mhm.
and you can check it out, and hopefully soon enough we'll come up with the fully developed app, back
Mhm.
end and front end, ready for people to just be in relationship, check the project that interests them. But if you are interested as of right now to become an investor to African farmers,
Mhm.
then definitely check the page out, give it a follow, like Fatin
Yeah.
just did,
Yeah.
and we'll try our best to link you up with a potential partner back home
Mhm.
that you can develop trust and
Right. Yeah. So yeah, if you're watching us from the United States and you're interested in doing business with farmers in Africa through Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, feel free to follow We Trust. Reach out to Mohammed or Amadou, and they can help you with that. All right. Mohammed, you've also mentioned that you've done some logistic startup ventures with rural America.
yeah.
What was that about?
Yes, so that is a business we started 6 months ago, probably in the 7 months, 6 months, 7 months ago. So what happened really is we noticed that there was an opportunity in the particularly in the delivery sector. You know how people here, they like to order food, they like to order their groceries, uh, and we saw that there was an opportunity ourselves first, because as we saw there was money to make in the deliveries,
Mhm.
uh, we started thinking, hey, what if instead of just doing the deliveries, because also I want to make a point clear is that this is entirely legal for international students. Before we
Mhm.
dive deeper, it's not like you have a job, it's not like you have a W2. If you can have a business in the US as an international student, and this is totally allowed to have a business. The only technicality is that technically you cannot work and getting paid, get a salary, or
Mhm.
get a W2. But as long as you have a business, it's entirely legal. So that's something I didn't know before coming, and it's a strong call to my international students that when you come here, you are able to do a business. Just make sure that you respect all the aspects of legal
Mhm.
status, everything. But the mindset that we had is, what if we we buy cars for cheap, and people that want to do deliveries, we have like, I think at the moment we have like two Americans. They have their driver license, they are able to work and everything, uh, that didn't have a car.
Mhm.
So what we bring is the material, you know we bring the machines, the cars, and they are able to do a delivery, and we take on whatever they do per week or
Mhm.
per day. We take a portion of it. That's part of the business. So it was, everything is made in a way that respects the status and our visa status and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
And this is really important, because it was like a lot of headaches at first. How
Yeah.
do we get our company to make money, so what happens is that people, they don't have cars, but they want to make extra money.
Mhm.
So we provide them with the cars, we kind of rent them the cars,
Mhm.
and we base our renting fees based on their performance.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we can
Wow.
take
That is
30%.
that
Yeah.
is awesome.
See,
Yeah.
I would like to expand more about
Mhm.
it, but I don't know if we.
Yeah, as I said, America is definitely the right place for startups, and international students have contributed significantly in those type of startups. People like Elon Musk, the wealthiest
Mhm.
person on earth today,
Yeah,
came as an international student from South
exactly.
Africa, and he started his companies while he was still a student in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
So basically, what you're telling us is that you work with people in delivering food. Are you focused specifically on food, or you do some other types of
Yeah.
delivery?
So
Because
basically, yeah, basically they use three or four different apps that they're used when they do the delivery. Is one of them is DoorDash, that's like food.
Mhm.
Uber Eats, Walmart, Spark,
Mhm.
and the thing is, they use those apps. So those third party apps, they make their money, then they pay us for renting the cars.
Oh, okay. I
And
see.
what we do personally is we kind of rent the cars to these people
Mhm.
based off their performance and not based on a fixed price.
I see.
So if tomorrow they do nothing, we're not gonna
Charge
charge
them.
them. But in
Yeah.
the same time, we share the costs, whether it's like maintenance, because also they're using the car. So we're
Yeah.
not going to pay for maintenance all alone.
I
And
see.
I can give you some numbers if
Mhm.
you'd like also,
Yeah. Sure.
because I think it's going to motivate also other people. So what we started doing is, basically there's like two shifts. So there's one person that goes in the morning from 6 a.m. to 4 p.m., and then the car comes back, and then another person comes take another car from 4 p.m. to uh, midnight. So it's like, I don't know how many hours this is,
Mhm.
from 6 to 4, but this is like the person that wants to do that, how they want to do that. If
Yeah.
they're multiple times, if they don't want to work, they don't work.
Mhm.
But this is how it's structured. And The thing is, with one car, with one car driving from 6 a.m. to midnight,
Hmm.
we were able to make in revenues, because I'm not talking in
Hmm.
profits. We
Yeah.
were able to make maybe 8,000
Wow.
in not us, but I'm saying then we take our share, the driver take his share, but the profit is way lesser because there's a lot of expenses that come, of course, gas, but
Hmm.
like 8,000 in the month with one car. And our goal right now will be maybe to develop the problem again is finding people, and that's
Yeah.
where I'm like, passionate about human resources,
Hmm.
because sometimes when you start a business you have to have the good people.
Yeah. Yeah. When you say finding people, are you talking about partners or having employees to do
Yeah,
the
yeah.
work?
I will say that partners are easy to find. You
Hmm.
know what? There is a society, a quote I like a lot from back home,
Hmm.
that says that defeat is an orphan, but success has a lot of mothers and fathers.
Correct. Absolutely. That's right.
And the thing is, partners are quite not hard, because when there is money in the game, there's people you can partner with, a lot of people, and it's always interesting also for us to partner with new people and see what they can bring also to the table.
Hmm.
And even like we can maybe elaborate further on that, but the hardest part is to find people to actually go and do
The
the
work.
drive, do
Hmm.
the hard work, working at 6 a.m. This
Yeah.
is the hardest part, definitely. But
Mm.
yeah,
Wow.
if you'd like to partner, maybe we can.
Yeah, we can definitely talk about that. That sounds like an interesting business. But are you also considering developing your own app instead of working with third parties like Uber or DoorDash and Walmart? Are you thinking about starting your own app that would be,
That's a
you know,
really great
competing with
question.
some of? Yeah,
That's a really great question. I think, to be honest, I'm passionate about this, but if I had to do my own app, it will definitely be back home, because I think there is a lot of space.
yeah,
Uh, it's what we call a blue ocean. Is there is a spot to take for anyone
absolutely.
who will come with, because we have a problem back home when it comes to logistics.
Hmm.
It's when it comes to addresses,
Hmm.
street numbers,
Yeah,
whatever. We have a problem with that, and there is a huge opportunity in that to the person that's gonna figure it out.
yeah.
How you get that from one.
Absolutely. No, that's a very good point. It's like a blank page.
Mhm.
You can go back home in most of those African countries and start those types of businesses. And what I've seen and liked in Cote d'Ivoire, for example, they have Yango,
Mhm.
which is similar to Uber. From your home, you can order a taxi that will pick you up and then drop you wherever you want to go. I haven't seen that in Senegal. I don't know if it's there, but I haven't used it because yeah, when I go to Senegal, usually they would uh,
Take care
drive
of
us
you. Yeah.
everywhere. Yeah, but definitely, I think these are businesses that would absolutely thrive in places like Senegal,
Mhm.
Burkina Faso, Cote d'Ivoire, and anywhere in
Yeah.
Africa.
Yes. And we have Yango also, like back home in Senegal also. Uh,
Mm,
but as I said, I'm thinking maybe if one day I have to do this, it will be probably back home, just
yeah.
because I feel like there's an opportunity, there's a market there, and
Hmm.
and we're both passionate about also like back home, and as I said, bringing the knowledge, bringing what you learn
Yeah.
here, bringing it back home. And I feel like maybe hopefully in the future we'll get to work together,
Yeah.
God willing, and do those great things. Build an ecosystem. Maybe I know you're passionate about higher education.
Hmm.
I wanted to talk to you about that as well. I feel like there is a huge opportunity in the ecosystem when it
Yeah.
comes to higher education, because as we mentioned, Tunis or whatever, when you build a school, when you have a school, you have a resource that people they don't often think about. it's the students themselves,
mhm,
so every student, they have their talent. And when you are in that higher education world, you can start even a business, you can do a startup, you
mhm,
can do a, how do they call it, I forgot the name, an incubator, for
mhm.
example.
Yeah.
But you can build a whole ecosystem, motivate your students, and invest in your students, to do stuff. And this is something that I really hope maybe in the future we'll see, uh, maybe here at Fort Hayes,
Mhm,
maybe also at Unis, to have
mhm.
an incubator.
Yeah.
And I know also you have some interesting projects that I hope we can work together on that, and
Absolutely. Absolutely.
hopefully build incubators in those schools that hopefully are gonna see the light soon.
Yeah. No, as I said, there's a lot of different types of opportunities on the African continent, and yes, I'm definitely interested specifically in higher education, and I know that through that we can, develop a lot of other stuff, as you call it, like different types of incubators on the African continent. So yeah, hopefully at some point we will develop some of those projects
Yes.
in Burkina Faso, in Senegal, and across West Africa, and provide opportunities for the younger generation to have access to some types of high quality higher education. Because yes, I definitely believe in the power of education. As Mandela put it, it's the most powerful weapon that we can use to transform the world.
Yes.
And one of the reasons why I think the continent is still lagging behind is because people don't have access to decent education, a high quality education. And if we have the possibility, the opportunity to go back and provide that opportunity through
Mhm.
the experiences that we've gained overseas, I think we can see some change happening on the continent.
Definitely, definitely. And this is why also I'm so passionate about human resource at large
Hmm.
in rural communities, because when you get to think about all the talents that we have, whether here in rural America or back home in rural regions, and like you think, it's not because you see that there is no high school in this town that some of those kids, they could maybe, like later become neurosurgeon,
Hmm.
astronauts. Like, this is always the way that I've seen things, and I've seen things this way, that maybe this person could have become a neurosurgeon. Maybe he could have become. I like to imagine that this one, he could have won an Oscar. This one, he could have been an astronaut. And this is why also it's an important mission to talk about human resource in rural regions, because you have talents that are like amazing, and higher education also. Higher education is it goes together with also, I would say, human resources. We learn a lot of things in human resources:
Hmm.
how to hire people, how
Yeah.
to train people, how to retain people. And those are things also that you will see in higher education. How do you recruit students? How do you educate those students? How do you retain those students? So those are two things that really come together.
Yeah.
uh, like, I don't know.
Yeah. No, absolutely, absolutely. Different kind of opportunities that are out there for us to explore. Mohammed, it's been close to a couple of hours that we've been talking now, and I know that with you we can continue the conversation limited,
Yeah.
but we also probably need to come to an end at some point. So, if you had some pieces of advice that you would share with the young people that have watched us today or that will watch this video and who are interested in not only furthering their education overseas and through scholarships and assistantship, and also starting businesses, what would be some of the pieces of advice that you would share with those individuals?
I think that's a question that I could talk again for maybe 2 more hours, I think. But I will not do that, don't worry. But I think one of my uh, advice that I give people will be that every detail matters. And if you are not familiar with the butterfly effect, what we call the butterfly effect, uh, you can do a small thing. You can read a book, you can learn something in your class, and this is gonna change the whole world. And this is crazy to think, but this is what the butterfly effect is about. And I really encourage every viewer that's watching us to go learn more about the butterfly effect. Tomorrow you can read a small line in a book, and this small line, or like this professor that told you something, this TED talk that you watch, can teach you something, can give you an idea. So every detail count. But this is where I'm coming to. The next point is education. You should try to always educate yourself, and it should be a continued thing. And you should try to go to higher education, learn also by yourself, do certificates, try to learn as much as possible, try to read as much as possible, try to learn something new, come with a new sense of awareness every day. you know every day I learn about new interesting theories. I don't limit my knowledge to school, but my advice will be every detail matters. Never think that something you do is worthless, because everything that you do at your level is important and can have an effect in the whole world. And as I said, like every detail matter. Try to learn, try to be a better version of yourself. Invest in yourself first, invest in knowledge, and then you will be able to do great things. And I come back to what you said, the Mandela quote, that education is one of the most lethal weapons you can have. Knowledge is power, and everyone should try to get the most knowledge out of this life and out of this earth. And really, knowledge is really power. So if you want power, first get knowledge.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, such a wonderful way of concluding this conversation. Knowledge is power. Invest in yourself, as Mohamed has mentioned. Take advantage of any opportunity that you have to learn, to educate yourself. You are not going to regret it. Nobody is going to take away the things that you have accumulated through learning. They can take away your freedom, a lot of stuff, but the things that you learn, nobody will ever be able to take that away from you. I want to recognize Opi Ametepe, who is joining us a little bit late. Thank you for being with us this morning. And he's saying, thanks for holding sessions like this to enhance our learning on what we can do with AI tool. Thank you so much, OP, for being with us this morning. And once again, Mohamed, thank you so much for your time. And thank you for sharing your experiences with our viewers. And to those who are just joining us or watching this video, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do so. This is going to help us grow. It's going to help us continue bringing some of the amazing people just like Mohamed to share their experiences, their expertise with you so that you too can be inspired and gain admission to universities in the US, in Canada, in Europe, or in Africa, and also get some types of scholarship and learn about how you can start a business and thrive in your ventures. So once again, thank you so much to all the viewers, and we will be together again sometime soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.